Welcome to another episode of JBT, Jedi Business Talk. My name is Chris B and I'm your host. And on this episode, I'd like to take a look back at the past few weeks of Star Wars action figure collecting to see what's been going on in the community. I want to talk about the exclusive fan celebration reveals on JediBusiness.com from this morning, along with New York Toy Fair news, some SH Figure Arts news, and Star Wars Vintage Collection news. Oh, and some thoughts about Gina Carano. So let's just dive right in. So this morning, JediBusiness.com featured an exclusive fan celebration reveal and brought you the first look at the upcoming Vintage Collection IG-11 figure from the Mandalorian and the Episode 5 Lando Calrissian. Now, both of those figures were previously announced in a live stream, but they couldn't show us any pictures. And so this is the first time we actually get a good look at both of those action figures. And I recorded a video, which is on the Jedi Business YouTube channel now that you can watch, so you can also get the visuals with it. Or you can just check out the press images and the press release on the website. The link is in the description, so check those out. In short, IG-11 is a brand new sculpt. It has the correct height, comes with a bandolier and two blasters, and from what it looks like, a ton of articulation. Lando is also an entirely new sculpt, features the photoreal face printing tech, comes with the blaster and the soft goods cape. And they mentioned in the press release that the cape is fairly thin because they wanted to have Lando be able to sit in the Millennium Falcon cockpit. So that's pretty cool. Both figures, I think, look really nice. And make sure to check those out and follow the links in the description. Now, both figures are available in the basic assortment, cost $12.99. You can pre-order those at a variety of different online retailers. I'm not sure yet if pre-orders have gone live. If they have, I'll copy the link in the description as well. All right, so more vintage collection news. Last week, Jedi Business reader Michael Nadiger found and bought the new wave of vintage collection figures on eBay. That's the wave with Grogu, Boba Fett, Greef Karga, Sutton, Leia Bespin Escape is also part of that wave. And strangely enough, it was our first look at what Greef Karga looks like, because previously they had only released digital renders, I think. And it was also our first look at the card back for Leia in her Bespin Escape outfit. Yeah, I think overall, I mean, great looking figures. The Leia Bespin card back could have been maybe done a little bit better, but overall, I think it looks pretty good. The weird thing is, people get so worked up these days about all of these figures and, this could have been done better and the color is off over there and, everything gets so nitpicked. But the thing is, if I look back at the 40 years of Star Wars action figure collecting for 3 3/4 inch, you can complain about every single figure. Every figure has shortcomings, So it's not a deal breaker when something is a little off. That's my point of view at least. So anyways, so that wave is out. Apparently, people have been finding those vintage collection figures at Target stores. So make sure to stop by at the toy aisle. If you're picking up essentials at Target already anyways. All right, so more 3 3/4 inch news, and this time from Disney. You guys might remember that, I think it was 2019, is when Disney released the Rise of the Resistance 3 3/4 inch ride vehicle from the attraction at Galaxy's Edge. The vehicle is pretty cool, I think. It comes with electronics built in, comes with an exclusive astromech droid. Actually, there are 4 different astromech droids that you can hunt down. The droids are identical except for the colors on some of the front panels. But the cool thing is now that Disney is going to make those available on ShopDisney sometime soon. So that vehicle release is part of their 4th drop of Galaxy's Edge merchandise on ShopDisney. So if you haven't been able to pick this up yet, keep an eye out on ShopDisney because those should be available soon. And I think it's going to cost about $75 for the vehicle, plus the exclusive astromech droid. I'm glad I held off so far and will be able to pick one up at regular retail. So pretty cool. All right, so more 3 3/4 inch news. This time for the retro collection. There's a variation that's been popping up, and thanks to Matt Booker over at Fantatrax, he sent me the images through, and he found a variation on the bubble. So the regular release of Yoda in the retro collection has the standard vintage collection bubble, unfortunately. But there are some examples now that have popped up in the UK where the bubble has been changed and it's smaller and thinner on the bottom, and then it just opens up wider where the figure is located. And yeah, it's a significant change, I think. And if you collect variations, that is definitely something to hunt for. No information yet whether this wave will be made available again in the future. So far, it's only been available at Walmart here in the United States. So fingers crossed that Hasbro will release more in the future. But anyways, that's something to keep an eye out for. The retro collection bubble variation of Yoda. Now jumping over to 6-inch. Earlier this week, Hasbro had another fan celebration reveal for the Black Series 6-inch line. And that was Bad Batch Wrecker. Now that figure is huge. It's going to be a deluxe release. Going to cost $10 more than a regular release, $29.99. It is not exclusive to a particular retailer, and pre-orders went live already yesterday. From what I saw, Hasbro Pulse sold out within 10 minutes. I mean, that's the thing these days, everything is hot right now, limited availability through shipping issues overseas, and retailers not getting product in or not putting product out. Or not ordering enough, and everything is really hot right now. I saw that the Hasbro Pulse email, an in-stock alert for premium members, came through at 10:04, and by 10:16, the figure was sold out. So it took less than 10-15 minutes for this thing to just completely sell out on Hasbro Pulse. Amazon is also sold out. It is still available on Entertainment Earth. So that is my preferred shop anyways, because, when you go through Entertainment Earth, you know that you're getting good packaging and a collector grade figure, because they do have a mint guarantee policy. So again, the links for all of these retailers is in the description if you want to check it out and see if you can still score one. But again, the figure itself looks phenomenal. Really, really cool. And talking about the Bad Batch, they actually released the official release date. So the Bad Batch animated show, the Clone Wars spin-off, is coming to Disney Plus on May the 4th, the official or unofficial Star Wars day that we have now, and that's going to be a Tuesday. So the first episode of the Bad Batch will launch on a Tuesday, and then after that there's going to be a new release every Friday. I don't think they've announced yet how many episodes there will be. I hope it's more than just 8, but I'll take whatever they can give us at this point, because I think that we really need some new Star Wars content. So anyways, May the 4th is the big day for new Star Wars media content, and it's pretty exciting. So staying with the taller scale of action figures, the SH Figuarts line, which is about 5.5 inches tall, only available in Japan. They've released the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian figure, so that's out in Japan. I saw that it's sold out on Amazon Japan, so you'll have to go through a specialty retailer and import it, or go through a scalper on eBay, I guess. But that's the only way in how you can get this figure. From what I've seen so far, it's a pretty nice looking figure, except for the paint application. I'm not really feeling that. But check out the images online on the official Bandai website and see if you like this figure. But if you're into that, it is definitely available now and shipping now from a variety of different online specialty shops in Japan. All right, so New York Toy Fair didn't quite happen at the Javits Center this year, but they still had a lot of stuff going on. There were a lot of online classes apparently that you can take. And, they have all kinds of classes where they teach you how to import toys, how to talk to manufacturers overseas, that kinds of stuff. But they also always do their Toy of the Year awards every year. And they have, I think, 16 or 17 different categories. And Star Wars, in particular, The Mandalorian, was huge this year. And the toy award for Best Toy of 2020 went to Hasbro for the interactive Grogu. That's the one that costs $60 and, has the eye movement and, it can walk a little. So that was the toy of the year for 2020. So that's pretty cool. And not only did it win Toy of the Year, it also won for Innovative Toy of the Year. So it got 2 awards. So that's all Hasbro. That's pretty cool. The Construction Toy of the Year, of course, went to Lego, but for 2020, it actually went to the Razor Crest. So the Star Wars Razor Crest from Lego won the Construction Toy of the Year. The License of the Year for 2020 went to Star Wars The Mandalorian, so that was Disney. So they won also. And the Plush Toy of the Year went to Star Wars The Mandalorian Child 11-inch plush from Mattel. So altogether, out of those 16, 17 categories that the awards go to every year, 5 of them went to Star Wars, specifically The Mandalorian. So it's pretty cool. Now they also have an Action Figure of the Year award, and this year it went to Fisher-Price actually for the Thank You Heroes line from Mattel. So I had to look those figures up because I was curious to see who won the best action figure line for this year, and it's really interesting what Mattel did because they actually came out with a line of action figures dedicated to healthcare personnel and frontline workers during the pandemic. So again, the line is called Thank You Heroes, and it features, a bunch of nurses and doctors and grocery workers and just frontline workers who helped out during the pandemic. So I thought that was a really interesting approach, for an action figure line, right? And it kind of reminds me of, times in the 90s, the time when England gave Hong Kong back to China and commemorated that event with a line of Star Wars action figures. You guys might remember the 1997 releases. There were 2 different 3-packs in special Hong Kong packaging. Now, the figures themselves weren't really that special. They were just re-releases of Power of the Force 2 figures, but they came on those really cool silvery display stands, and the figures were actually screwed onto those bases. Yeah, it was basically a political statement that they made back then, so I thought that was pretty cool. Now, obviously, political statements nowadays is probably not a good idea because we're so divided on where we stand with everything. But I still think that it was really cool back then that they took Star Wars figures and put those out in order to commemorate this really huge event back then. And it seems like Mattel did the same thing with the Thank You Heroes line, and again, it won Action Figure of the Year. All right, and talking about political statements, I gotta mention Gina Carano. I don't want to get too much into it, but I do want to share some thoughts though. And that is, now she drew some conclusions or similarities to, between Nazis and the political environment that we're in right now currently. Obviously, that was completely ridiculous. I'm from Germany, and my grandparents lived through the Nazi times, and my parents lived through the aftermath of the Second World War. Obviously, a completely ignorant statement that she made. But the thing, though, I'm going to say is that for me, I can differentiate between the actress and the fictional character that she portrays, right? So I honestly don't care what Gina Carano does in her spare time. I don't care what beliefs she has, really. I'm a Star Wars fan. I want to see Cara Dune on screen. And I don't have to have somebody else, agree with me on my political views or, my ideals just so I can enjoy somebody, being a good actor or portraying the fictional character. And that's where Hasbro comes in play, because they just pulled all the Star Wars action figures off her, apparently. And I just don't get this at all, Star Wars action figures used to be made for kids, and kids have no idea what's happening with Gina Carano or what she does in her private time, right? But anyway, so they pulled the figures, or word actually got out that the figure was pulled, because I reached out to Hasbro, and they're usually very good with me, and they respond very quickly typically. But in this case, I could not get a response from them at all. So it's kind of a case of, let's just be quiet about it and ride it out, I guess. But online retailers such as Entertainment Earth and others apparently mailed out notifications to people who pre-ordered the figure and told them that they cannot fulfill pre-orders anymore. So apparently Hasbro pulled the figure. And that's what I totally don't get, because to me, this is Cara Dune. It's not Gina Carano. It's two different things to me. So anyways, that kind of resulted in a lot of people going to the secondary market. I checked this morning, there are some Cara Dune figures from the Vintage Collection and the Black Series line now, which go over $200 each. And those are sold listings on eBay. I mean, we hardly get any new figures per year in the Vintage Collection. How come people didn't pick this one up, right? So anyways, if you missed out on her, you'll probably have to pay quite a bit now on the secondary market. Now, apparently the retro collection figure that's supposed to come out is still coming out because, they're already in production. And they might also be shipping soon, because I think the ship date for those figures is April or May. So those should be on some shipping containers soon. And so I guess they can't pull those anymore. So for those, it's okay to sell them, I guess. And then the one that's out in the Mission Fleet line as well, that's still shipping as well. So there are still some Cara Dune figures available, but the collector-focused figures with the Black Series and the Vintage Collection are not being produced anymore, apparently. So I don't agree with that, but, it is what it is. And like I said, I do not agree with anything that Gina Carano said at all. I think it's terrible, actually. But I can differentiate between her and her being the actress and portraying a fictional character, right? So anyways, that's the Gina Carano, Cara Dune fiasco. And, it's sad because with Star Wars, we just keep tumbling into one controversy after another. First, we had Pablo Hidalgo go after Star Wars Theory because he cried when he saw Luke Skywalker show up in The Mandalorian. That was totally uncalled for. Then we had the High Republic authors make some racist statements apparently on Twitter. So that's a whole discussion, and I don't even follow this kinds of stuff, I'm trying to just focus on collecting figures and on Star Wars storytelling. But yet, all this weird drama coming from Lucasfilm constantly, and it's just never ending, seems like. So the sooner May the 4th comes around with the Bad Batch and we get new media content, the better. So we get distracted with real Star Wars stuff that we can talk about. So I think this is where I end this episode of JBT, Jedi Business Talk. Again, thank you guys for listening to the podcast, or in this case also watching it on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, please do so. And I'll catch you on the next one.